Imagine turning just a simple, casual photo from home, maybe selfie,
Yep.
into a full professional shoot. Suddenly you're standing, maybe in this amazing custom evening gown, on a roof knob, looking out over Paris. Sunset.
Okay, wow. But here's the really powerful part, right? Your face, your specific expression, all your unique features, everything about you stays perfectly identical in that new scene.
Exactly. That high fidelity, that character consistent realism.
It's here now, and incredibly, it's completely free.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're unpacking Qwen Image Edit. It's a remarkably powerful new open source tool just released by the Alibaba research team.
And this isn't just like a small step forward in AI.
No, it feels different.
This is a real disruption. I mean, our sources are confirming this community-driven tool. It's already shown better performance than major subscription rivals. We're talking about big names, proprietary models like Nano Banana, Seedream, models that often cost you every month.
Right. Beaten in head-to-head tests.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into this. Our mission today is pretty clear. Give you the essential knowledge on Qwen's Edge.
We'll look at those core features, especially the character consistency you mentioned. We'll dig into some surprising test results.
And then, crucially, we'll explain the two main ways you can actually start using it, like today.
Yeah, because for years, getting that professional image editing quality, it took serious commitment.
Oh, absolutely. You either needed that expensive, complex software like Photoshop.
Right. Big learning curve, big price tag.
Or more recently, you kind of lock yourself into these monthly fees for generative AI tools.
Yeah, the subscription model.
And Qwen just changes that landscape almost overnight. It's totally free. And the key, as you said, is it's open source.
Okay, let's define that quickly. Open source. What does that mean in plain terms?
Sure. Basically, open source just means the underlying code. Think of it like the recipe for the software. It's public. Anyone can see it. Anyone can use it.
And importantly, help improve it.
Exactly. That's the critical part. Community improvement.
So the core claim here isn't just that it's free. It's that this free open model is actually consistently outperforming expensive commercial options.
Yeah. It's resetting the standard for both accessibility and quality at the same time.
Which is pretty unusual.
It is. What's fascinating is just how fast this disruption is happening. So why is an open source model moving so quickly here? Faster, maybe, than the big corporations.
Well, it seems to be about agility, not just raw speed. You've got this global community, people contributing fixes, adding new features, optimizing things constantly.
Like a massive distributed team.
Exactly. At a rate that, a single company, even a big one, probably can't maintain internally. Their combined effort just outpaces those corporate development cycles.
Okay, so the speed comes from the community collaboration.
The analysis suggests yes. It's that constant, rapid improvement driven by many hands, which keeps it ahead of the closed commercial models.
Got it. Okay, let's talk about that feature everyone's buzzing about. Character consistency. This seems to be what really makes Qwen stand out.
It does. Keeping a character consistent. It basically means you upload one photo of a person, just one reference.
Okay.
Then you tell the AI, okay, change the outfit, change the scene, the lighting, the background, change everything around the person.
But, and this is the key, the person's face, their specific features, maybe the way their hair falls, the smile lines, that all stays locked in.
Perfectly locked. And think about what that means for, say, a small business.
Yeah, huge. You could photograph a model for your product just once.
Right.
And then use AI to put them realistically on a beach or in a fancy boardroom, maybe hiking a mountain trail. You get so much mileage out of that one initial photo.
And it preserves the small stuff, too. The sources mention specific jewelry, like earrings or the exact pattern on a shirt.
Yeah.
Even the texture of the fabric sometimes. Honestly, this is something... Well, I still wrestle with prompt drift myself sometimes. Where the AI starts to kind of forget the details you told it to keep. It's frustrating.
Oh, totally. We've all been there. But Qwen seems to handle this really elegantly. Right. So thinking about that consistency, how does that really help, say, content creators or small businesses the most?
It fundamentally changes the economics. You can create this incredibly diverse range of professional marketing materials, maybe dozens of different ads or social posts, all stemming from just one single photo shoot.
So it just maximizes the value of that initial image like crazy.
Exponentially, yeah.
Okay, so consistency is huge. But Qwen also has these other built-in precision tools, right? Let's talk about pose control.
Yes, perfect pose control. This is a big one because lots of AI tools, they just kind of guess at poses and you get weird, awkward, or just generic results.
The dreaded AI hands sometimes.
Exactly. But Qwen has dedicated pose control built in. It works kind of like the popular control net system, if people are familiar with that.
Okay, and how does that work? The mechanism.
It's actually quite simple, but really effective. You upload a skeleton image, like a stick figure or drawing, showing the pose you want alongside your main character photo.
Ah, okay, like a reference pose.
Precisely. And the AI then forces the character in your photo to adopt that exact physical stance, even really complex or dynamic poses.
I can see how that'd be useful for, like, character designers or comic artists.
Totally. You could generate a whole sheet of standard poses, maybe that classic superhero landing pose, and the AI keeps your character looking right, but matches that skeleton pose one-to-one. Super useful. Okay, feature number 2, smart object management. This sounds like getting into the nitty-gritty of editing. It is. Precision when you're swapping things in or out of a scene.
Right, and the examples are pretty impressive. Like, you can tell it to remove only the red cars from busy street scene, leaving all the other cars untouched. Or this other complex example, remove the laptop, replace it with an open book, and change the glass of water next to it to a red apple. And it actually follows all those steps in order.
It follows that layered command structure really accurately, according to the tests. Okay, that's impressive detail. And feature 3 solves something that drives AI users crazy. Text generation.
Oh, yeah. The classic AI weakness. Garbled text, misspelled words on signs.
It makes images unusable for anything serious,
Well,
right?
exactly. But Qwen apparently generates text that's clear, readable, and correctly spelled.
That's actually a huge unlock for any kind of commercial use. Posters, ads, product mock-ups.
Yeah, imagine adding a slogan like freshly baked every morning onto a photo for a bakery ad. You could specify the font and it just works. Looks professional, totally legible.
Okay, that ability to handle layered instructions seems key. So just to be clear, can it manage something like change the main clothing item but specifically keep one small accessory intact?
Yes, that was explicitly tested. There was a prompt to change a man's suit into full knight's armor,
Okay, big change.
but preserve his modern red tie.
A red tie on knight's armor. Exactly. And Qwen did it. It generated the armor but kept the red tie, understanding it should sit on top of the armor. That shows it gets layers and context, not just pixels.
Well, okay, that demonstrates some serious understanding of the prompt.
All right, so we've covered the features, which sound great on paper, but the real test is how it actually performs.
Right.
Against the competition, the established players.
The head-to-head benchmarks, and the results were pretty compelling. Our sources detailed these comparisons against Seedream and Nano Banana.
Both paid. Subscription services.
Right, and Qwen consistently came out on top in terms of understanding the request and the final image quality.
Let's dive into one of those tests, the satellite view transformation. Yeah, this one was interesting. The task was take a flat top-down image from something like Google Maps, okay, like a screenshot.
And turn it into a realistic aerial photo,
Yeah.
but from an oblique angle, like a 45-degree view.
Yeah.
That needs real spatial understanding, generating sides of buildings that weren't visible before.
Tricky. So how did Qwen do?
It nailed it, apparently. Changed the perspective perfectly. It intelligently generated the 3D sides of the buildings, added realistic atmospheric haze,
Nice.
and, critically, it gave rid of all the map stuff. The top labels road names, logos cleanly, no weird ghosting or artifacts.
And the competitors, the paid ones.
They basically just applied a filter. The image stayed flat, top down. They couldn't handle the 3D projection or the perspective shift. And they apparently struggled to remove the map UI cleanly, too.
So a pretty stark difference in capability there.
Yeah, it highlights Qwen's better grasp of geometry and view changes.
Okay, what about another challenge? That clothing swap you mentioned earlier with the tie. The detailed clothing swap, right? So the prompt was specific. Change a man's business suit to medieval knight's armor, but keep his red tie. Testing both the big visual change and following that specific constraint.
Exactly. And Qwen succeeded. It did both parts perfectly. It understood the modern tie needed to sit visually on top of the new armor. It grasped the relationship between the items.
And the competitor.
Completed the easy part generating the armor, but just ignored the instruction about keeping the tie, dropped it completely.
So Qwen showed better adherence to complex, multi-part instructions, better language understanding, essentially.
That's what it points to, yeah. Superior language processing driving better visual output.
Whoa. Okay, just pause for a second. Imagine scaling that kind of precise character control, that level of instruction following. across millions, maybe billions of queries. For media, for design.
Yeah.
That reliability at scale, it's genuinely transformative for mass content creation. It just fundamentally changes the cost structure and the possibilities for digital art and marketing.
hmm And what was the key technical takeaway from those object removal tests you mentioned earlier, like the red cars?
Right. The insight there was Qwen's ability to understand specific adjectives. It could follow a prompt like remove only the white geese from a picture with lots of birds, leaving all the other non-white geese perfectly untouched.
So it's parsing language with nuance, not just remove geese, but remove white geese. Exactly. That level of specificity is pretty advanced.
Okay, so people listening are probably thinking, this sounds amazing, I want to try this. What's the next step? How do you actually get your hands on Qwen Image Edit?
Good question. There are basically two main ways to access it right now.
Method one. Method one is the easiest, simplest path, especially just to try it out. Use the online version. Okay, so you just go to a website.
Pretty much. Visit the official Qwen website, look for the image edit tool or demo. You upload your pictures, your character photo, maybe a pose skeleton image, and then you write your prompt detailing what you want to change.
Simple enough. Are there limitations?
The main one is usage limits. You get something like 12 free generations per day, which is actually pretty generous for testing.
Yeah, that's definitely enough to experiment and see what it can do, refine your prompts, for sure. Then there's method two, the unlimited power path, which is...
Local installation, running it on your own computer.
Okay, that sounds more involved. Requires more technical know-how.
It does, yeah. You need to be comfortable setting things up. But the payoff is unlimited use. No daily caps.
And hardware becomes a factor here, right? You mentioned resources earlier.
Yes. Specifically, your graphics card's memory, the VRAM, the full-fat, maximum quality Qwen model is, well, it's pretty hefty. It needs around 40 gigabytes of VRAM.
40 gigs. Okay, that's serious hardware. That's professional workstation territory, not your average gaming PC.
Definitely high-end. But, and this is crucial, what about the typical user? Someone with a decent gaming PC, maybe 8 gigs of VRAM, can they still use this?
That's the key question for accessibility, isn't it?
It is. And the answer is yes. Absolutely yes, thanks to the open source community.
How?
Through something called GGUF models.
GGUF?
Yeah. Think of GGUF models as highly optimized, compressed versions of the big, full model, like taking a huge, high-quality photo and making it a smaller file, but it's still looking really good.
Okay, like a zipped file, but for AI models.
Kinda, yeah. So if you have a more common machine, say with 8 GB ABE of VRAM, you download these smaller GGUF versions. Then you install some specific custom nodes. Think of them as little software plugins into a user-friendly interface like ComfyUI.
ComfyUI, okay. I've heard of that. It's a popular interface for stable diffusion and related tools.
Exactly. And doing this lets most users run Qwen really effectively. You still get amazing professional-grade results, even on much lighter hardware. Just maybe not the absolute peak sharpness of the 40 GB version.
Yeah.
So just to clarify for listeners, that high VRAM, the 40 gigs, it isn't strictly necessary if you just want really good, usable, professional quality output for, say, your website or social media. Absolutely not crucial for most practical uses. These compressed GGUF models are fantastic. They really democratize access to this power. It means this cutting-edge open-source tech isn't just for people with supercomputers. It's accessible to almost anyone with a reasonably modern PC.
That's great to hear. Okay, let's touch on some advanced applications. Because it's open source, it supports things like LoRA files.
Yes, LoRA support is built in. And LoRA, just quickly, is like a small, lightweight file that you can use to rapidly fine-tune the AI.
Fine-tune it how?
It essentially teaches the main model a new, specific style, maybe replicating a particular artist or a specific character's likeness, without having to retrain the whole massive model from scratch. It allows for infinite customization, really.
Which unlocks huge potential for commercial use, right?
Massive. You could generate incredibly realistic product ads. Imagine staging a perfume bottle perfectly on a mossy forest rock, with just the right sunbeams catching the glass.
Or maybe integrating a company logo naturally onto someone's t-shirt in a generated photo shoot scene.
Exactly. Things that used to require complex photo manipulation. And we're also seeing amazing potential for restoration work.
Like fixing old photos?
Yeah. Taking old, faded black and white family photos, removing scratches or blurs, adding realistic color. Qwen seems capable of really bringing history back to life quite seamlessly.
Incredible. Now, we should inject a dose of reality here. It sounds amazing, but no tool is perfect, right? What are the current limitations or constraints people should know about?
Good point. It's impressive, but not magic. The weaknesses are there. though maybe fewer than you'd expect. Text generation is great, as we said, but text translation between languages? Still best primarily in English for now.
Okay.
Also, if you give it really complex instructions to manipulate 3D objects in a scene dramatically, sometimes it can struggle a bit to maintain perfect 3D depth and might sort of flatten the output slightly.
And the absolute best quality still needs that high-end hardware.
Yeah, the quality ceiling, the absolute sharpest, highest resolution results, you'll still get that with the full model on powerful hardware with lots of VRAM. But the GGOF versions get you very, very close. And the universal rule of AI still applies, I assume. Garbage in, garbage out. Always. Yeah. The key takeaway for any user, regardless of hardware, is start with the best quality source photos you can. Good lighting, clear focus, that gives the AI the best foundation to work from.
Okay, let's try to synthesize the big idea from all this. What's the main takeaway?
I think Qwen Image Edit really confirms this shift we're seeing. The future of elite creative AI tools looks increasingly open source. It's highly accessible.
And maybe counterintuitively, it's proving to be faster, more agile, and sometimes more capable than the closed, expensive proprietary models.
Exactly. That's the paradigm shift.
And for the listener, the creator, the user, what are the two biggest benefits of this shift?
Leverage, really. First, you eliminate those often crippling monthly subscription fees. That's huge for individuals and small businesses.
Frees up budget.
Second, you get complete transparent control over your creative workflow and your data. With open source, you know what the tool is doing. You own the process locally.
Okay, final advice. What should people do next?
My advice, beginners or anyone just curious should absolutely start with that online version at the Qwen website. Just play with it. Feel the power. It's easy.
Get a feel for prompting it.
Yeah. But if you're a content creator, a designer, a small business owner, you really need to consider the local install seriously.
Why the urgency?
Because every month you delay exploring a powerful, free, open source setup like this. You're effectively choosing to keep paying a subscription fee to a competitor, possibly for an inferior tool. In this fast-moving AI space, that's a significant competitive risk.
Makes sense. Stay ahead of the curve.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And here's a final thought to leave people with.
Yeah.
This new reality where an open source tool can just appear and instantly outperform established, expensive giants.
Yeah.
It means the economic barrier to creating professional-level visual content. It's basically evaporating.
Wow.
Innovation is now globally distributed through these open communities. And that fundamentally changes the competitive landscape. It makes your expertise, your creativity, your skill in using these tools, your prompting ability, the ultimate differentiator, not how much budget you have for software subscription.
Expertise over budget, a powerful thought.